So I'll show you some videos of the final look, and then stay tuned for that whole shebang of how I'm going to get into all of this. It is quite the process. There's a lot of layers, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys and show you all of the fun details from the costume. Hey guys, we are kicking this video off pretty quickly. This is just going to be a short video of me going through the process of getting ready. I'm starting with my black linen chemise and a pair of platform shoes. These shoes add about 5.5 inches to my height, making me approximately 5'11", almost 6 feet tall, which helps counteract the very long skirt and helps me look a little bit more imposing when I'm in cosplay groups with my friends, which I designed this cosplay to be a part of. Up next, I'm grabbing my hoop skirt and my kirtle. These are going to be the next step. The hoop skirt is from Amazon and has semi-adjustable wires for the skirt, so I just adjusted those to be a more conical shape to mimic farthingales, and then I'm slipping my kirtle on. You have seen me make this before. I'll leave a card up to it for the video of how I made this part of the outfit. But I'm just having Sean help me into this because with my wig and my face paint and all, it can be a little bit of a production to not mess anything up. But I do prefer to do my makeup and my wig before I put the outfit on, since my mobility is much more heavily limited once I have everything on and am in the costume, and also just to avoid, staining and whatnot. The front of the skirt is made out of silk, as well as the decorative band at the top, while the rest is either a quilting cotton in black or a synthetic black polyester taffeta. The sides are laced up in 2 parts, just to make it a little bit easier for me so I don't have to constantly unlace the whole thing and relace it every time I want to get in. I haven't really noticed a problem with this. It holds together just fine. Both parts are finished with a slip stitch and then just tucked in at the bottom through the slit in the skirt. And it's pretty secure. I haven't had any problems with it the couple of times that I've worn this cosplay. And I'm just adjusting the skirt hoops a little bit. I wish I'd worn a petticoat with this, but I did forget at the time because I just wasn't thinking about it. I was trying to get this video done. But up next is the gown. This is the overdress that goes on top of the kirtle and hides most of the bodice. The front is done in a spiral lacing pattern, and the whole dress is incredibly heavy, so it takes a little bit of finagling to get into. I usually have Sean help me with it because the back of the skirt has so much fabric in it that if I try and do it on my own, it'll just get bunched up and messy. So the sleeves on this are a special design I did myself. They are not from the original pattern, while the rest of the dress is. It's a split over sleeve lined in a lime greenish sort of silk with a fitted undersleeve in the same taffeta as the front skirt of the kirtle. The way the gown works is basically that you lace up the under part, which I'm doing in a spiral lacing pattern like I said before. These are hand-done eyelets, which fits pretty snugly over the kirtle, and then on top of that is what's called a placard, which is basically an illusion sort of piece that goes over top to create a smooth outline and make it look like there's no closures at all on the garment, which you'll see in a minute. I lace this up with a needle and a small piece of cotton cord. I probably should use something stronger for this, honestly, but this was easy and I haven't had it break yet, so I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. And that's the placard that you see now. I usually have to have Sean or someone help me get that closed, just because, again, I don't have a lot of mobility and that's a very snug fit to keep it smooth over the bodice. The sleeves, like I said, are made of taffeta, but the closure on them is a hook and eye with faux buttons. The faux buttons are amethyst-colored beads with a gold setting, which you'll see in a second. But the fit is very snug because the chemise underneath is supposed to peek out from underneath, and it's a little bit bulky. The next time I wear this, I'm planning on converting those into a drawstring closure, but for this, I just kind of had to peek them through. And then these are gloves that I wear so I don't have to body paint my hands, which is tricky and annoying and just kind of uncomfortable to have to deal with. Those have black stiletto nails on them, and they just tuck in underneath my sleeves and more or less match my face paint, though in this lighting they do look a little bit off because of the color balance. And then finally are my horns. These are made from a Kamui cosplay pattern with a very strong rare earth magnet in them, which holds them in place, and then I secure them with an extra bobby pin around the bottom braid to keep them from rotating on my head, since there's only one magnet per horn. This can be a little bit tricky because I'm basically the only person who can do this. Most other people can't tell if it's secure or not, and I don't have a lot of mobility in my arms because of the gown, so it usually takes a little bit of zhuzhing to get right. And Sean is having to pull out my sleeves from the underside a little bit because my gloves were getting caught. And my last accessory is a doubled over chain in a very pretty clover pattern, which is going to be held in the front by a Maleficent head brooch. I'm also putting on a couple rings for a little extra bling. The Maleficent head brooch is made by a cosplay group called Dangerous Ladies and is cast out of resin with gold powder to look like cast gold with a small green gemstone eye. And that's the cosplay. That's the whole thing, basically. And I've never mentioned this before, but I do actually have a small-time Patreon where I post early access to all of my videos that I put up on YouTube, as well as photo galleries for most of the photo shoots I do. So if you're interested, the photo shoot I did for this Maleficent cosplay is actually up for free on my Patreon with a couple other free access posts and photo galleries to go check out. I'll leave the link to that in my description if you're interested. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and look forward to the next video. Thanks again for watching!